You don't speak to take control. You redesign how you're perceived. Control isn't always spoken. Sometimes it's structured in silence. It's in how you walk, how you stand, how you turn your head. Without flinching, it's in what your body says. Before your mouth opens, you don't need to speak. To be heard, you don't need to explain. To be felt, you just need to exist differently. Quieter, stronger, sharper. You don't dominate by being louder. You dominate by being. Harder to read, harder to shake, harder to reach. This is how true command is built. Not in conversation, but in presence. You don't raise your voice. You lower your movement. You don't perform. You anchor, and the world around you adjusts. This video is about non-verbal identity, how to redesign your presence so people feel you without knowing why. Not because you're aggressive, but because your stillness demands attention. Let's begin. Quiet command activated. Part 1. Why non-verbal identity matters more than words. Before they hear your voice, they've already judged you. Before you say a word, they've already adjusted to how you carry yourself, because people don't respond to what you say. They respond to what you signal, your posture, your breathing, your eye contact, your silence. It tells them what to believe, what to fear, what not to question. And when those signals are clear, you don't need many words. Your body already spoke the command. Words are flexible. They can be faked. They can be denied. But your presence, your stillness, your energy, it doesn't lie. It enters first. It speaks without sound, and it forces people to calibrate their tone, their pace, their behavior. Before you say anything at all, this is why your non-verbal identity matters. Because in every room, every conversation, every interaction, someone is leading before anyone speaks. And the one who leads isn't the one who talks first. It's the one. Everyone subconsciously tries not to offend. That's not charm. That's control. Built through body, through breath, through presence. And once you redesign that, you'll never need to prove yourself again. Part 2. What it means to be commanding without speaking. Being commanding doesn't mean being aggressive. It doesn't mean being loud. It means being unshakable. Your presence is so stable, so contained, so quiet that people move around you. You don't demand respect. You walk like you already have it. You don't chase attention. You become the thing people track without realizing it. You don't interrupt. You speak once dash, and they lean in, because when someone barely speaks, but everything about them says, pay attention, the room listens without being told. Being commanding without speaking means this: you don't explain, you don't apologize for silence, you don't overexpress to fill space. You let space exist. You let tension build. You let people feel your restraint and adjust accordingly. They don't know what you're thinking. They just know. They're watching themselves more carefully. When you're near, that's not intimidation. That's command, earned not through volume, but through stillness. True power isn't proven. It's felt in your eyes, in your timing, in your refusal to overreact. And once you learn to lead like that, you never have to raise your voice again. Part 3. The 4 shifts to redesign your non-verbal identity. You don't need to be intimidating. You just need to stop signaling softness. You don't need to be aggressive. You just need to move. Like every action has purpose, here are the 4 identity shifts that change how people treat you before you speak. First, posture upgrade. Stand tall, but not stiff. Shoulders back, head level, feet grounded, no bouncing, no shifting weight, no nervous gestures. You're not on guard. You're centered, still, unbothered. And that stillness tells people, I don't need to prove anything. You need to watch yourself. Second, eye contact recalibration. Don't look around too much. Don't over-track the room. Don't break eye contact because they blink first. Hold it, just long enough, to register control. Then release, on your terms. No aggression, just presence, stable, clean, intentional, and every glance becomes weight. Third movement, precision. Don't fidget. Don't react fast. Don't match their pace. Move like time bends around you, like nothing is urgent, like every shift in your body has a reason. When you move less, people notice more. When you reach slowly, people pause. And that pause is influence. 4. Presence. Anchoring. You don't just sit, you own the chair. You don't just walk in, you fill the doorway. Wherever you stand, wherever you stop, you act like that spot is yours. No hesitation, no slouching, no scanning for approval. You anchor, and people orbit around your stillness. Each shift says the same thing. I'm not trying to be impressive. I'm already the axis here. Not by force, not by noise, but by the way you take space without asking. Part 4, how it alters, how people treat you. When your nonverbal identity shifts, the room shifts with it. You're not louder. You're not more social. You're just different. And they feel it. They don't joke the same way. They don't interrupt. They don't speak over you. Why? Because your silence now carries weight. And people can feel that it's not just quiet, it's controlled. You're not the approachable one anymore. You're the one they pause before approaching. You're not the one they explain themselves to. You're the one they watch themselves around because they sense you're watching everything. Not reactively, but strategically. You'll notice things. People lower their voice when you enter. They speak slower. They choose their words more carefully. They justify themselves, even when you haven't questioned anything. That's not fear. That's frame submission. They feel that you no longer seek to be liked. You no longer chase connection. And that distance demands respect, because when you're still, they have to move more. When you're quiet, they start over-explaining. When you're unreadable, they start projecting. You didn't change the volume, you changed the structure, and now the space around you reorganizes itself without you ever asking. This isn't social dominance, this is energetic command, built not through effort, but through design. You've become the one they adjust to without knowing why. Part 5. Training the quiet command reflex. Quiet power isn't a personality trait. It's a trained reflex, a system you build until your presence speaks louder than your voice ever could. Here's how to build it. Step 1. Walk in without noise. Next time you enter a room, don't announce yourself. Don't scan for recognition. Don't fill the air with greetings. Just walk, slow, stable, director. Own your pace, own your silence. Let them feel that something just shifted, because you're now in the room. Step 2. Resist the need to react. You don't need to nod to everything. You don't need to respond instantly. You don't need to match their speed. Pause. Hold eye contact. Let the moment breathe. That pause, that stillness, it makes your presence heavier. Step 3. Practice intentional stillness. Sit like you chose the spot. Stand like you're anchoring space. Breathe through your chest. Slow, quiet, unshaken. Every movement should say, I'm not adjusting to you, you'll adjust to me. Train your body to move less, so your energy speaks more. Step 4. Speak less, drop deeper. When you speak, lower your tone, slow your delivery. Say less. Don't explain, don't justify, don't soften. Let your words drop like weight into a room already quiet. Let the silence after. Say what you didn't. Step 5. Watch their response, not your impact. You don't need approval. You don't need validation. You're not there to be received. You're there to observe how they shift in your presence. Do they fidget more? Speak faster? Over-explain? Good. That means your stillness is doing the work. Quiet command isn't about pretending to be strong. It's about becoming. So, internally, still. That no one else can stay the same around you. Part 6. When you redesign your presence, you don't have to prove anything. You don't have to speak first. When your posture already said, you're not here to compete, you don't have to explain. When your silence already made them rethink their tone, you don't have to raise your voice. When your presence already lowered theirs. That's the power of a redesigned identity. Not louder, not flashier, just undeniable. You no longer need to win attention, because attention now reorganizes around you. You no longer need to defend your words, because people now filter their words before saying them near you. You're not feared, you're respected. Not because of what you say, but because of what you withhold. Not because you demand control, but because you act like you've already had it, long before they noticed. And the moment that happens, you don't walk in to prove anything. You walk in to let the room recalibrate, quietly, without force, without request, because the body, that moves slow, that breathes steady, that speaks less, is the one they never interrupt again. CTA. For the next 72 hours, don't change what you say. Change how you stand, how you move, how you hold a pause. Let people feel your new frame before you speak a single word. Because when presence comes first, power follows. Quiet command complete.